Wrestling fanatics, welcome back. And ooh, yeah, the March Madness is upon us. I'm that art of the beat of the B, Richard Bronson Vickrey. On the other side of the screen, pause. Has your bracket been busted yet?
Oh, it's busted. It's completely done already. I just did like kind of random picks too, but I'm done. It's crazy. You come in so confident, and then as soon as it starts, it's already like the first day. It's over. It's like, damn it! I thought I had a good bracket.
Bro, it's not even the first day. It's not even over with yet here. Come on, man. You got to have faith. But you know what? Hey, speaking of faith, let's jump into that. As so many of those little fans out there, they still wanted to have the faith. They couldn't believe what they saw weeks ago. John Cena betraying not just Cody Rhodes, but the world. That seems so long ago to Elimination Chamber. We finally get some answers from John Cena this past Monday. Finally, John Cena speaks Monday. Paz, what did you think about the face that runs the place and what he had to say?
I actually didn't think it was as good of a promo as like Bully Ray. Bully Ray was calling it like was such a great heel promo. I actually didn't think it was that great until that kid yelled out, "I love you," and he told him that he was a toxic whatever. Then I was like, okay, I like that. That was great. That was just a nice little like he's really a heel. He's really cementing it. But he did actually. I don't know. I feel like he made some good points. The crowd always kind of turned on him. Remember, they said he was injured. They cheered. You know what I mean? Then he said something like that he loved them. He did Make a Wish, and then they booed. So some of the points he was making it actually kind of like made sense. It almost validated some of the like why he would turn heel. It's like okay, I can kind of understand why he would turn heel. The crowd was kind of turned their back on him. They never asked him how he was feeling. So pretty good promo overall. Maybe not as good as Bully Ray said it was, but pretty good. Just because I like the fact that when that kid said he loved it, and that kid's reaction was freaking great.
Hey, I'll give you. Anytime that you can incite a reaction and just kind of that wave of emotion that follows and the feedback online, yes, a home run in that sense. I am going to agree and put over the fact I liked Cena's delivery. I like that how he sold the message, but I am going to call absolute BS on the message itself. I thought it was lowest common denominator booking to go with the I'm the victim. You people have I brought this upon yourself. If you loved me, you were a problem. If you hated me, you were a problem. I would have really liked to seen them get to the true root of this thing. Pro wrestling's at its best when it mirrors reality, and that's that we have got a Hollywood Illuminati-esque takeover here. It should have just came out and said, "Hey, I love the my time is now, but hey, my time is now is because I'm moving on up. I don't need you SOBs anymore. Hey, I used you for all those years. I knew how to play the politics of this, and now I'm taking my horse and hitching it to the rock, or taking my wagon and hitching it to the rock, that horse, and riding that all the way to Hollywood, baby."
I didn't sell out. I bought in. That's a great line he should use.
I absolutely love it. And that in one sense, when we go back to the big comparison, where does this rank amongst the biggest heel turns? I think that inside of itself is one of the major deciding factors when you're weighing that and measuring it against Hogan didn't play the victim there. He just knew he was done with the people. He had taken them as far as he could, and he had to align himself with Hall and Nash because that's where the money was at, and that was a reality of the situation.
And they could all stick it, brother.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of sticking it, Rhea Ripley takes the ink and sticks the pen to the pad to the paper, and she seemingly signs on for WrestleMania. Hey, the smarks inside the bubble of the bubble of the bubble, Boz, they were eating this up.
They love it. I'm not. I mean, I love WWE. been going to the shows recently, even more than I had in years prior. I like Triple H's booking. I like where they're going. I like that Vince is out. But this to me was, I don't know, a little wonky. But I know they've done this before because they did this at WrestleMania 20 with Shawn Michaels, and how basically Benoit came out to sign the contract against Triple H. Michaels came out, said he never really lost to Triple H. He then kind of beats up both guys, gets a super kick gimmick, and kind of signs the contract. So they've done it before. There's a precedent before. I know it's obviously 20 years ago, whatever it was, 21 years ago that they did it, but it seemed like almost like the same exact thing again with Rhea. I just felt like maybe they could have done it a little differently. Like maybe Io Sky wanted her in the match because she beat her up the week before, or kind of like disrespected her the week before. But I don't know. I just felt like that was a little like wonky. Like anybody could, and it's funny. Shayna Baszler was like, "Can I just sign the contract? Like, anybody could sign the contract." But that was kind of funny.
The next day I went down to Paycor Stadium here and tried just signing Jamar Chase's contract to see if I could get a
Yeah,
cut of that.
yeah,
Just throw my name on
exactly.
there.
Yeah,
I love the reaction that we got from the fans simply over Rhea making a statement. I mean, she was never officially put into this match. She was just
right,
putting
right.
her stamp on it to say,
Yeah.
I belong here, to stir up, to create that buzz, to get that fire going, to, get the GM to say, all right, you want this thing? You know what? Rightfully so. You didn't get your rematch. You were kind of, well, you did, but it didn't go favorably. It wasn't maybe possibly legit. Let's do a three-way dance. I'm still not in favor of an additional three-way dance, especially coming from the Raw brand at WrestleMania. But if we're going that route, I was okay with how they played this thing out.
Almost kind of saving Ripley versus Belair. It seems like too oddly. I know Mania would be a huge stage, but it seems like almost saving that one-on-one match a bit.
Maybe they want that for a prolonged program, but that to me, that's the money. I'm sorry, Yo. I know there's a lot of Sky fans out there. She does nothing really. She's a third wheel that isn't needed inside of this program. And maybe what's holding this match from being a possible night one main event for WrestleMania? A lot of speculations, fans talking about should one of the titles get that opportunity? Should it be driven by star power? What says you, Paz?
To me, and I know people might automatically assume it's going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther because Uso might be the most popular guy on the roster. I think you start that off with night one and have like really kick off WrestleMania. The crowd would be nuts. They'd be all full of energy. They love his entrance. They would love him winning the title. Then they get to do it all over again with his music and the eat. And I think that's how you start off Mania. That's how I would anyway, and just explode the place, blow it up. The main event, got to be Roman. He's the man. Punk is the man. And obviously Rollins is going to be in the match too. It's obviously going to be a three-way: Rollins versus Punk versus Seth. That's got to be the main event. How could Roman Reigns, the top guy, not be in the main event of a WrestleMania? You know what I mean?
Hey,
If he's on the card, how could he not be in
Roman's
the main event?
Roman's already said he's either going on first or he's going on last. So I think we know where they are going to end up somewhere night one, night two. To me, I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, it should be a title war. They should give the ladies this opportunity so it seems that they're on par with what the guys going on. No, none of that. It's about star power. I agree
Yep.
with you wholeheartedly here to open up the show. Night one, first match out, Gunther and Yeet. You light that place up. What a visual that's going to be, especially the post celebration if Jay can go over, win the championship. But we move on. Night one, main event needs to be packed with that star power, a powder keg. You want to set it off. What better way than with that three-way dance with the gentleman you mentioned? This kind of popped me though. I wanted to share this with you, Paz, from old Uncle Dave, crazy Uncle Dave, tweeting out there that this match, it doesn't make any sense. Literally, none of these men have history together. At all scoffs, it's been seen as the biggest throwaway matches that Vince has given us throughout the years. But this might actually take the cake. Absolutely bleak. This is insane. An insane take. Wrestler, first of all, you can come in any which direction and tie these three gentlemen together. And then you got the wild card of Paul Heyman and who he could be leaving with that adds
Holy
on.
moly. I didn't even know he said that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Rollins and Reigns have heat forever. WrestleMania last year even tied it back together. Then Royal Rumble tied it together. Seth and Punk have been feuding since last year, like legitimately blood feud since last year. So they have heat. If you watch since Survivor Series,
They've had
when
heat since Punk was in AEW.
well, yeah, well, yes, but even before that with the Shield, Punk and the Shield have all this heat. Literally, he brought them in, and then they could kind of turn on him and everything else. So they have heat. But even Roman and Punk from Survivor Series with that whole thing, and him helping him, and then him owing him a favor, and then Reigns saying what the hell was that about, and then Reigns beating them both up at MSG after the cage. Come on, it's been building for months and even years, maybe even decades. Crazy.
When is that AEW Kool-Aid going to just kill off Uncle Dave, or when is the spaceship going to come pick him up to take him off to the all-elite planet where he can live happily ever after? Hey, we've linked together the three gentlemen in the main event. Paz, when I say a name like Lex Luger, who do you think of? Sure as hell isn't Triple H, right?
No, yeah, I was gonna say probably not Triple H, but I guess because they're both going in the Hall of Fame together. I guess.
Okay, you know what? Hey, leave it to Paz. Hameen and I went around, had a lot of fun talking about this on the Monday at Locker Room. We'll leave it to Paz to make sense of this thing. Hey, by the way, you got called a racist on last week's show in the comments for actually making a point of why Hulk Hogan had to leave that event, but you were defending a racist there. But hey, can you believe this? Triple H, Lex Luger, meet and greet, Hall of Fame. $8,500.
That's nuts.
What would the old wifey do if she saw a charge on the Paz account for $8,500?
Would be done. I would be over with. That's just crazy. I can't even like put that into comprehension because let's just say Luger's $100. Like if you do an autograph and whatever.
How said you can get Luger at a meet and greet autograph session at Upstate Con for $25.
Right, or whatever it is. But let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say it's 100 for an autograph and a picture, or 50-50 or something like that. So Triple H, you would say maybe double that or whatever he could be. And they're like, okay, in total it's $300. Like 85. Where the hell do they even get that from? Like that's insane. I guess you're getting tickets to the Hall of Fame, but what's the rest of it? That's nuts.
Well, wait. There's more. Pause. There is more. For $8,500, you get Triple H, you get Lex Luger, but you get beverages, you get appetizers. You get Michelle McCool.
Oh.
Also, okay. Hey, when you think of Lex Luger, you think of Triple H, you think of Michelle McCool. You can also upgrade to hardside cameras for an extra $1,000. So, hey.
Man, TKO is crazy. I thought Vince was crazy with some of the stuff. Wow, TKO is out of control.
Well, hey, they're out of control. WrestleMania might be out of control, but they might regret that. Because we have also announced as part of the extravaganza that is WrestleMania weekend, they're going to end things on Sunday. This is going to be going off at 10 p.m. Heartbreaking to hear. This is not going to be televised, but let's talk about it. The roast of WrestleMania. Kill Tony, one of my favorites, man. I could sit and listen to the Kill Tony show all day long. Regularly, I was listening to some of the reels before we went live here. Your thoughts when you first saw this thing, Paz? What was your initial reaction?
A little bit of confusion. I'm like, so it's a roast of WrestleMania. It's a roast of the current guys. If it was like the Iron Sheik roast or Flair roast, I don't know, one of the old guys, like that's great. But like what are they gonna do? Current stuff? I don't know.
Are they gonna look at WrestleMania itself and just make fun of the event?
Yeah, I'm confused of like what the hell it actually is, but it's weird though. It's like, man, if it was like one of the old timers, I would be all in. I would love it, like Honky Tonk Man or like Cornette or somebody. But like, I don't know. This is kind of weird.
They have announced, this is going to be going off at 10 p.m. on WrestleMania. Hey, one of the big things that I like what I saw, if this thing's going off at 10 p.m., is that a guarantee to WWE that we're going to be off the air by 10 p.m.? I like that.
So what time does Mania start then?
I don't know.
We got to find that out. We got to find out what time it starts.
I mean, they're 3 hours behind us here in the actual worldly time zone of the East Coast time.
So if it starts at 6, ends at 10, 4 hours, okay, that makes sense, I guess. But if it starts at 7, ends at 10, that's a pretty quick WrestleMania show. It's only 3 hours. But
let's say you got tickets to WrestleMania, you got to bust some ass to get over there for this thing.
Yeah, you're gonna miss it. Yeah,
inside, but my initial reaction was, man, they're getting into some dangerous waters here. This could really backfire on them. They might really want to wrestle this thing, pro wrestle it up, where it's predetermined a little bit, so they can know what Tony's going to go out there and say.
Yeah.
But they do. Sami Zayn's going to be involved in this thing. The Miz, Paul Heyman, Braun Strowman. Some people with some of those chops, that background a little bit, is going to participate. But I'm with you, like, because I was at the roast of Bruce Pritchard at the first Starcast, man. It was absolutely hysterical. A great moment. Hey, I would love, instead of the scrum afterwards with all those geek ass, phony ass wrestling journalists, if you will. Not, unlike you, Pops, who is like a real deal journalist in this thing. I'm just some BS talking head. But the geeks that they bring in there, let's bring them up on stage and let Tony and his crew just have it, those nerds. I'm all for that as well.
That would be pretty interesting. That would be must see TV. That's for sure. Is it all the like TKO like comedians? Or are they all under the Ari Emanuel banner? Like, I wonder what the connection is.
Something along those lines. I mean, you got the Kill Tony crew is going to be there. This is not going to be televised, but you got to believe, all depending on how this thing goes off, the internal reaction, at some point they're going to release this for us.
Yeah,
I think that's why they're not going to do it live, just in case something goes off the rails. They still want to have that ace in the hole. They can go back and edit something to protect their asses.
definitely.
Talk about the need for potentially editing, covering your ass. Your boy. No, not Hogan this week. It's not Hogan this week. Your boy Russo, man, he was dropping nukes, but ballistic there on Michael Cole and his commentary and driving the direction for our opening conversation here, which was Cena Speaks. But Russo, not entertained by Michael Cole. I'll let you break this down about how Russo, how he described Michael Cole's reaction.
I like, for whatever reason, I was just like, I love Russo. Obviously, you talk to him all the time, do a show with him. It just was like, where is he coming from with this? So he did not like the fact that Michael Cole like kind of was trying to make it personal. Like, I can't believe Cena turned on the fans. I can't believe what he's saying. He's such a scumbag. Like, he was trying to be very serious and really put over that Cena was a heel. And I don't know why Russo was like so mad at him. He was just trying to get Cena more over as a heel. Like, but Russo lost it. He just could not handle it. He did not like what Michael Cole was saying. But it's just a part of the show. Obviously, he's just doing that to try to get Cena over as a heel. I guess Russo doesn't like the way he went about it.
I think, in a sense, as Michael Cole was doing his job, this Russo is doing his job. You're expecting those over the top, outlandish reactions. And you know what? Hey, I'm going to call out Russo on this one because, yeah, he missed the complete point of this. Michael Cole, it wasn't that he needed, as Russo said, Vince McMahon in his ear to pull him back. Michael Cole was doing exactly the job he was giving, and that is narrating the story, to letting us know at home how we should feel. This is one of the darkest, saddest, traumatic moments in WWE history, that someone that had risen to the rank such as a hero as John Cena could do this. What he did physically wasn't enough, but to come out and to verbally just abuse, abandon, and destroy the WWE universe, unforgivable. And that's what Michael Cole was trying to drive home. Inside of itself, I think Russo doing a little bit of work himself. I will put him over, though, bro. At the end of that, a little saving grace. I like that he mentioned, where could Michael Cole get some comeuppance in this? Could Cena catch word that Cole had called him, a miserable piece of whatever, and come out and maybe get physical with him? I think that would be a little interesting. But again, a complete miss to give a positive critique and help a positive spin here from Russo. So sometimes, bro, pull it back, bro. Pull it back.
Sometimes, though, I love when he goes off on like odd tangents like that because it pops me. Because I'm like, why is that, of all things in the show, that's what bothered you? Like,
That's
what in the world? Yeah,
that's
like, oh my.
God.
Like, I remember there was some segment, I forget which, it was like a woman segment. It was like a throwaway segment. It's like Lyra Valkyria or something from like weeks ago. And like that, like, set him off. I'm like, that's what set him off from the show? Like some random, like, just woman, like Michael Cole set him off? Like, couldn't have been something else. He pops me some of that stuff because I'm like, wow, that's what he got mad at. Jeez.
Well, Russo's take, if he nailed it or not, that's up for debate, but there is no debating this one. Moxley gets nailed. Last night, as we record here, AEW Dynamite Street Fight, the All Elite Wrestling Heavyweight Championship on the line. Moxley versus Cope. They're bringing it out there. Man, we got the graphic of this. For those that didn't see this thing, you want mud show, you want ultra violence, man. Moxley brings it to you. This is, it kind of gives me just chills even looking at this thing, especially going back and think about watching this thing live. He gets the big old 2x4 of nails. You expect that to be gimmick, man, but that is sticking right there to the Mox's back.
Oof. That was pretty brutal. Man, yeah, that was a little uncomfortable to watch. I got to be honest. It kind of made me turn away from when I was watching it. It just was one of those weird things that usually that kind of stuff doesn't bother me as much. Like I've seen a million death match shows, but I'm like, ooh, that I don't for some reason like that was a bit much, a bit too much, a little too crazy.
Well, I think what really got me is that they even took the camera away from it because it wasn't coming out as easily.
Yes, and
the referees
in
there, Yuta's in there trying to get this thing out. You got the other Death Riders coming in, and that thing. I don't know if he was selling afterwards, but it just seemed like it had some lasting effects that he go to continue that match and him trying to get the hell out of the ring there.
Yeah, big time. And I feel like they told you to get out of the ring, do that spot with Cope, like to try to get away from the focus that like the refs got to like tend to this guy's back. I'm like, what the hell happened? Holy goddamn. So yeah, that was pretty brutal. I think maybe even worse than that spot was the placement of that match on the show. I think you put that match, it's the world title match street fight on in the middle of the show. I was like, okay, obviously Moxley's not losing. If you're doing it in the main event, you at least think like, okay, Cope might win the title here. It's the main event of the show. I was like, it's so obvious he's not winning. There's no way they're going to do a title change. In my mind, maybe they've done it before now. I haven't realized it, but in my mind, I was like, there's no way there's a title change here. I just felt like that was ridiculous.
I don't think we're going to get a title change in any case here. This is, and I will give them props here. I hate when they just abruptly drop things that aren't working. They stuck to their guns. They let this thing try to play out. I think this was just closing that book. Let's get out of this thing because we saw that it looks like Cope's going to be heading in a different direction with the FTR sort of deal there. Moxley already has another opponent. We're going to Dynasty here in 2 weeks, where I think they need to make the ultimate, no pun intended here, swerve in their booking. And as I said last week, the big deal is to put over Swerve. At the Dynasty, we begin the DY Nasty, the second reign of Swerve. We take him to the heights that he should be as a mega star. He has all of the boxes checked that you want, including the big one, the it factor. You need to get that crossover appeal. You need somebody to help Swerve counter and just take out the numbers game with the Death Riders. I don't think there's anyone in the house that does that. You need to go outside, and I'm not going to sit here, middle-aged white guy, and pretend I know who's who in the world of hip-hop, crossover, sports that we can get, but we need some no-limit soldiers from the outside world of sports, from music, from entertainment, coming to help Swerve counter the Death Riders, take that championship, and begin the reign of the DY Nasty Swerve Strickland Championship run in AEW.
Wow, no limit soldiers like Master P, hootie hoo. You want to go old school?
Hey, I don't know. I don't even know if they're still existing. I'm saying something of that caliber to bring in any kind of stars, any kind of name power that's going to help bring some attention to the brand. It's going to get outside outlets covering the win and get some attention going here for All Elite Wrestling. Some much needed attention. But again, when I say no limit soldiers, that's just my old man whiteness speaking. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of AEW, I'm hoping. I've been screaming everywhere I go about a new look for them. Paz, how about the new look for Viva La Tessa Blanchard? Her new look for Impact Wrestling. She's getting a lot of attention. A lot of people can't believe this. I'm going to let you step up to the blade here. Can you 2 weeks in a row? Can you defend a racist?
Yeah, is that crazy? Defend a racist. That didn't realize I was doing that. It's just absolutely crazy. So Tessa, who's from obviously San Antonio, she's formerly married to Daga, who's obviously Mexican born, great professional wrestler in his own right. Divorced now, of course, but she speaks fluent Spanish. She knows Spanish like the back of her hand. She's doing this kind of maybe interesting or maybe
I,
really kind of geared
I think we
towards
can
a
set the stage.
heel.
Let's set the
Yeah, man.
stage for everybody here. We'll give them a sneak peek at this thing.
Yeah.
I forgot we had the actual footage of this thing. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah.
Y esta noche voy a romper tu madre. Besitos.
And she had the crossover. She had the rap act bringing her to talking about the
Yes.
heavyweight champ.
Yes, yes. I don't know. To be honest, I liked it. I thought it was a heat magnet waiting to happen, and I knew that people would explode over. I knew they would hate it, and it's kind of fallen right into the TNA's booking hands and right into her hands. They absolutely hated it. They're fired up about it. So I don't know. I maybe I'm defending her, but I liked it. I thought that was different. It was cool. I think they're going to go in a obviously different direction than I thought they were going to go with her. But man, she's getting a lot of heat for it.
Hey, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I freaking loved it. Lean
Whoa.
into it. Lean into it. The work can carry the load. Professional wrestling, again, is at its greatest when it mirrors what's happening in the real world. And this is it. This is it. This is Tessa going out there embracing what she knows is going to make people feel uncomfortable as hell. And she is owning it. And now look, Little Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling, I'm sorry. They're hanging in. They've been picking up some momentum. They're a great deal with NXT and all that. Slowly but surely, and this right here, boom, goes right to the forefront. What we're talking about. It's got people feeling a little uncomfortable, but they're tuning in. They want to see where this goes, and eventually, that ultimate payoff when she gets her ass kicked is gonna be mega.
Yes,
for TNA Wrestling.
definitely build that heat up and then blow it up.
This is exactly what we need. We're our PC afraid to push the envelope to make people feel a little uncomfortable to really get into those emotions. We need more of this in professional wrestling. So hey, kudos for doing it, for pushing that envelope.
I agree. I like it.
Paz, each and every week here on the 10 count on that road to WrestleMania, we're going to be hitting some of those feel goods for us. Take those walks down memory lane. We're both old school guys. We like looking back at our fandom, those big moments for us. Last week we talked about our personal favorite moments. This week, I want to throw out there, I want to hear from you, share mine. The greatest WrestleMania match. First of all, pause. Let's set a criteria. What do you think should go into this when someone considers the greatest WrestleMania match?
Got to be memorable, right? So it's got to no matter what. I think you should have good work rate, but really crowd participation should be great.
I like that.
Should be great. Star power, I think, would be nice. A little, little addition too. It's like being able to put some butts in the seats. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And really, I don't know. I guess maybe just a little bit of that pizzazz, like a little bit of something extra to it. Maybe, got a little extra buzz, or it's more memorable than some others, or it's unforgettable. Something that gives it just that little bit of extra push, little bit extra pizzazz.
So I'm going to piggyback on it. The great foundation that you laid. I also, the story line going in to get people hot, the story in the match itself, how the dance partners go out there and hook people to bring them in, but the story going afterwards. Do we elevate people? Does it have you buzzing more than when before inside a match? Is it something that we can look at years later and say, "Damn, what a stamp that left on the business itself"?
Love it.
How to
Well
change
said.
things. All right, so Toss, your pick for the greatest WrestleMania match.
Man, it's a tough one to decide. I really have two picks, which I always say. And I always go,
41 years. There's a lot of good ones out there.
but I'm going to pick one because we can only pick one. WrestleMania 13, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Got to do it. Sorry.
The SOP. Hey, we also got a little heat because they said, we don't disagree enough on the 10 count. They want more. They want more arguing between us. But
Oh, okay. I could then screw Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to Hogan versus Rock WrestleMania 18. Screw that.
there you go. You get your Hogan heat back. But no, I defended us. I said sometimes it's about who can come up with the better take, make the better points. That's also what the 10 count is about. But I agree wholeheartedly. You look there. To me, the greatest angle that you had in the history of professional wrestling at that time, Bret Hart, the world versus the USA. I mean, I wish where the TKO has WWE right now, global expansion. I wish we could have something like that today. That would be so hot to defy those audiences right now. That would be incredible. Bret Hart, the megastar at the time, he goes in. He actually comes out better somehow in that damn thing, but he elevates Stone Cold, who is from that moment going to become the biggest star, arguably, that the industry had ever seen.
Yep.
We have the outside star power with Shamrock making his, crossover into professional wrestling. The story that was told, the emotions, as you said, getting the fan involvement, the long-lasting impression, couldn't ask for anything better there.
Well said. Well, I want to disagree, and for those people, but I can't. I absolutely love that match and the double turn. The double turn was awesome. You got the big baby face, Bret turns heel. The big heel, Austin turns baby face. It's the most perfect match maybe ever. It's so well done.
I think some other ones out there, and to me, it's about invoking that emotion. Obviously, when we go back and look, maybe maybe not the match itself, but even the moments so in it, the ride there maybe fell a little short post, but how we felt about that is a big WrestleMania moment when Daniel Bryan won his championship.
Yep.
So many Undertaker moments. The Shawn and Undertaker matches that we saw at WrestleMania would probably be in there in the conversation.
Hogan Andre, Hogan Rock got to be in there. Absolutely. Hogan Warrior.
Yeah, yes. I mean, just for those moments, like last week, for my favorite moment, Macho and Warrior, because so much on the line and such great storytelling that you had inside of there. Now we're going to get slaughtered. We're going to get slaughtered, no pun intended there, because we didn't put over movesets. But hey, that's all right. Pause. Another great episode here. Man, we're starting to get into the flow. Really look forward to sitting down with you each and every week. Real quick, before we get out of here with this week's Pop of the Week, what's the big interviews you got this week, man? You're talking to the who's who in professional wrestling.
Got PJ Black coming up, to the Darewolf himself. Eventually, very, very soon, just recorded with him, the Wild Man, Mark Merrow, who has a new book out.
Oh, I can't miss one right there.
And then a guy I was just talking to my buddy about that I absolutely love him, especially on commentary, the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. He'll be coming out very soon as well.
Ooh, two awesome interviews. I'm sure everybody's going to check those out. Hey, make sure you're smashing that subscribe. Make sure you're getting those alerts. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Either way, pro, bad. Hey, we love it. We take it all here at the 10 count. And we're going to leave you with this week's, hey, if you love us, this isn't for you. If you hate it, this one is for you. This is your pro wrestling Pop of the Week. Oh, yeah.